Big up to Mandem. Welcome back to Pitch Picks. Today's episode should be absolutely electric. Before we start bodying each other, I just want to go out there and say the Premier League is the greatest league in the world. Shits on the NFL, shits on the NBA. The games I saw this weekend, unbelievable. United game, electric. Ipswich game, electric. Liverpool game, electric. Forest game, electric. The only game that sucked this whole week was fucking Arsenal. Every other game was fantastic. We have Pep scratching his face. We got Wolves players fighting. We got fucking United coming out. And I mean, this weekend was glorious football. And I'm so blessed to have gotten into this sport because this weekend was special. And I just want to get into everything that we saw. And I think there's no other place to start than the Manchester Derby. I mean, City. You guys are pathetic. Up 1-0. You have the 3 points in the bag at the EMPTIHAD, and you just shit down your leg like you've been doing for the last 2 months. Maresh, the floor is yours, brother.
You know what you are. You know what you are. You cheating bastards. You know what you are. Wow, what a fucking win. Nobody thought that we would win, especially that little fucking faceless motherfucker that won't even show his face after his team fucking stunk it up, but we'll get there. Nobody thought we'd win, plus 450. I said we could go in and get a result. You all called me a madman except for Rudy. I'll give him that. He knows what his team is, but the rest of you thought we couldn't get a result, and I told you we would. They're feeble. Doesn't matter. Everything goes out the window when it's a derby, but they couldn't get up for it. They had nothing all game. Doku was a bit of a problem for Mesraoui. I'll give him that. But other than that, Gundogan was nothing. KDB, best midfielder of all time in the Premier League. What's he doing? What's he doing? He had to have Ahmad had a goal involvement in that. If he didn't touch that ball, that doesn't go to Gvardiol. So Ahmad had 3 goal involvements yesterday.
The most pathetic thing about that whole match, and this is when I knew City was dead, is what Kyle Walker did when Højlund walked up to him and they touched heads and he flopped like a little bitch. I said, this team is done. They got no stones. They stand for nothing. To flop like that in a game like that.
Embarrassing.
That is exactly what City is right now. Feeble, soft, pathetic, disgrace to the game.
1 win in 11. 1 win in 11.
Fewest points per game since November 1st. 0.57. That's how many points you're picking up per match. Pathetic.
Yeah, I said it. I said it last week. You guys are preaching to the choir, dude. I said we were going to lose this game I said Ahmad was going to tear us up, and lo and behold, what happened? We lost. We lost. I don't think anybody – it was a disgusting game. You know, I can't sit here and say that we deserved it. It didn't really – honestly – I'm not even trying to spin zone. It didn't really even hurt that bad because it sucks, but like we're terrible. And I said that we were going to lose and we lost, and it's just we're a disaster. The losses to Tottenham in the Champions League, the loss to the absolute implosion to Real Madrid in the Champions League, those hurt really bad because we're in the higher end stuff, and this is just like we're terrible, so you can see it coming, so it doesn't hurt as bad. It's just what it is. It's just what it is.
I'm not buying that.
Oh, what do you mean it is what it is? We have been your dogs at that stadium.
Yeah.
At that stadium, we have been your dogs. 6-3, 6-0, 6-1, whatever you want. You do to us. You have your way. You bend us over, but it's not that. So it's you shouldn't be okay with it. We came in and did something we don't do. Mm-hmm. We won away at City in the last 10 years.
I get it. No, but it's one thing like
we're shit too. We're not a good team either.
I'm not even saying that. Like, but we've been down. I said we were going to lose this game.
We rolled up without Marcus Rashford and Garnacho. And what do you mean? Garnacho or Rashford scores bangers against you guys.
That's a fact. He did go bar down.
So I mean, we rolled up without 2 players that the media were licking their chops. The storylines were writing themselves. If we went and we lost 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, it was going to be Amarim's lost the plot. Amarim doesn't know what he's doing. How do you keep Rashford out of it? But he made a gutsy call, and the team went out there and fought for the badge. No one on City can say the same. Maybe
Yep.
Bernardo afterwards, because he's the one who's lighting into everybody and saying what's happened. But outside of Mateus Nunes, every player on that pitch that you started is a champion. Mateus Nunes is a champion technically, but he was playing out of position, so I'll give him a break. Everyone else was where they belonged. They were playing the position they're meant to, and you couldn't get anything. There was no like creativity.
They're
nothing.
broken. They're dead.
Nothing.
They're broken.
Yeah, I mean, guys.
It was awesome.
It's awesome, but you're dancing on a grave of a tired, withered champion.
Doesn't matter what grave it is. You are the apex predator of the league. When we beat you, if it were so easy, the two other fandoms on this show would have gone there and done it this season.
15 seconds away. But yeah.
Neither of them did it, but that's the reality. If it was so easy, Mikel Arteta, in his 5 attempts, or how many times he's been there, would have done it. He has not done it with the best Arsenal team in years. If it was so easy, everyone would do it, but not everybody's doing it.
I agree. I do agree with that, but the Man City that Arsenal played early in the season versus the Man City now is not the same.
Well, my manager's
Thank
done it
you,
twice.
Rudy.
Done
Thank
it
you,
twice
Rudy.
to you in 6
Someone
weeks.
with the brain finally has spoken. Thank you, Rudy.
I just see it for what it is. I get it.
got a
I'm
brain?
Happy, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you, Maresh. It's a great win, but you have beaten a team that is just an absolute expert at losing right now. So and also, Chief, you're dancing on the grave. You're the only team that we can beat apparently.
We had a bad day. I'd love to have another crack at you guys, and we will this time. We'll be at
You
City
probably
Ground.
will win. You probably will win.
I mean, because we're on a European march, and that's the thing where you're talking about all these Champions League losses that hurt you more. You're not even going to have that next year the way you're going.
Maybe.
You're not even.
Maybe, but
enjoy Conference League, bitch. Like that, like you guys are fucking dead. It's pathetic. And it's like the pep meltdowns, the face scratching, the flopping. Who is this team? Who is City? You guys are Titans. City, the Blue Army, all this shit. It's gone. It's over. I bet you Pep regrets signing that contract. He wants the fuck out of there. That team, they have no soul. They have no balls. And then it's like, you're lucky they didn't have the other penalty. I thought that one was a stone cold one. When you look at
Oh my God, Diaz on Hoyland?
yeah, that was
Yeah.
on the
Have you
replay.
heard the mental
That was a
gymnastics
penalty.
they're doing on Sky Sports? Oh, well, in a game like that. What do you mean in a game like that? It's the same game every time we watch it. There's no different circumstances, different strokes for different folks. No.
Yeah, I honestly on the replay I saw it and I was like, oh shit, that probably is a penalty, but they just sort of breezed by it. But I honestly whatever. Like, we're just a broken team. We're rebuilding.
No, it's not whatever.
Dude, we've won
You have
4 in a row.
You
We've
have a
won
limited window with the regarded best manager of all time. 2 more years of him. You need to maximize that. Who is going to succeed him? Huh?
Look at-
By
You're
the
just gonna
way-
walk
Hold
into
on.
doing this
Hold on.
forever.
By the way,
you have
he-
young player of the year Phil Foden. You have Eric Holland, who's been bagging
Eric?
goals. He's,
Eric Holland?
You're not
That's
rebuilding
crazy.
from scratch.
You might as well call
Amad
him Eric.
Diallo has more goals at the EMPTIHAD than Phil Foden this year. That's insane. That's insane. You guys
And
nothing's
Grealish.
working.
In a calendar year. 100 million.
Dude, fellas, it's very clear that they didn't rebuild in time. Our only signings this summer were Savinho and a free Gundo. We sold Julian Alvarez. We have a treasure chest of money. So get your licks in, enjoy it.
But you still have to abide by the rules of PSR.
No,
you
they
still,
don't.
You have to.
No, they don't.
Well,
They don't.
PSR is a newer thing, so they might actually get screwed by it. We don't know. But they have these rules that are in place, and now their allegations have jumped from 115 to 130. They found another 15.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. We're going to beat the charges. We have plenty of money to spend. We've sold a lot of players and not bought many. So get your licks in. This season's a wash.
But who-
I've said it, and we're going to skull fuck you again.
Rudy, being very transparent, or not transparent, objective and fair on this one.
Mm-hmm.
The current state of where your team is, the uncertainty around what will happen with those charges, how many players are really going to be ready to take a flyer on joining your club in January? Maybe
Great
in the
point.
summer after everything's been acquitted and all the dust is settled. But until that is fully decided, Pep has 2 more years. They know that they can't just go and be under Pep for the rest of their career. there is a lot of uncertainty about joining City. The money is there, yes, but the reasons as to join aren't there as much.
The manager's not there either. He said it himself. I'm not good enough. I am the boss. I have to find solutions so far, and I haven't. We want to play better, but at this moment, it's not possible.
We had three.
Like, do you hear how insane that is coming from the greatest manager in world football saying it is literally not possible for us to play better football? That is crazy.
I mean, dude, you got to work with what you got. Like, we have guys that are just too old, like KDB, God love him, but like the age, he's fighting through a fucking hernia apparently. The age, he's just not there, and there's just a bunch of guys that are just too old. It's just like you got to recycle the squad, and we will. So get your licks in. I've said it a million times. I knew this was going to happen. It is what it is.
How many charges do you guys have?
When did you know this was going to happen? Because I
Last
seem
week.
to remember a guy talking about doing a quintuple. Which
yes.
And beating Rico charges.
Oh, yeah. That was months
That was
ago.
the discussion
No.
in
You
September,
recently said
October.
it again. You recently
Yeah,
said
you did.
I mean,
I think it was after you beat Forrest that you said the quintuple was
Yes.
back on.
it was. But last week, it was. But last week, I literally said we were going to lose this game, and Ahmad's going to kill us.
You did.
How many
You did.
charges do you have?
130.
130?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it jumped from 130 after they concluded the trial. They found 15 more while they were conducting the trial.
No shit.
Yeah. Listen,
I was going to say, because if you believe in, what is it, numerology? What the trippy bitches believe in? Like numbers mean something?
You mean, Conroy. Mad Dog.
Numerology? Is that what it is? Because if you had 115 charges, it was 115 seconds between the 2 goals scored to end the game. It's your unlucky number.
whoa.
Take a bow,
saying.
Diallo. What a crazy finish that was.
Yeah, well,
That finish
Guardiola,
was
Take a
Guardiola,
fucking
Yeah, wait,
bow,
what was he
son.
doing?
Guardiola somehow just like ran by the ball. But I got to give credit. He's a great player, and
What do you mean, the flick on and then, the precision? Obviously, you have to factor in that luck has a lot to do with it. He's two of the most influential goals in recent time for Manchester United. Both of them had zero pace on the ball. You look at that Liverpool one where Garnacho gave him that rubbish assist and he put it across the box, low corner. Had zero pace on it. They just like dribbled in. Somehow he's got two of the best goals in United history.
he's a great player. Woo. You know,
Did you see,
you guys are trying to beat a dead dog when I've said we're a dead dog. Rebuild's on.
All right, let me ask you this then.
Does
I
not
will
matter.
say, Rudy, this is a great tactic. You're kind of taking the joy out of it a
Rudy,
little bit.
it does.
Because I'm a realist.
Rudy, it does not matter if you want to be considered a big dog in the Premier League. No matter when a team comes in and beats you, no matter if it's at your most feeble state or at your best state, it hits the same. Forest came in and beat United after 30 years. We are in our most feeble state. It is all that was talked about all over the news. Does not matter when you lose. It matters that you did lose.
Yeah, we did lose, and I'm not going to say like it doesn't suck. I hated seeing that, but
These wins against you in this era of your team mean infinitely more than the ones that we did on you for years. So now that you are at the top, you have the money. Doesn't matter who you trot out there. We beat you. It fucking matters.
okay.
Talk that shit, man.
I guess it matters, but at the same time, I'm not. It doesn't hurt as bad as if you took.
You got
it
a
down.
guy making £1 million a week at your number 9 spot. I don't give a fuck who you are. We beat that ass.
My God, gracious.
Zod. Zod.
Still in 13.
I know, you know what? You shut your
You're still
fucking
in
mouth.
13th.
I don't give a fuck. 5
can't
points
stand
between
this.
13th and 4th. This motherfucker's talking about, oh, you're doing victory dances after that. How many times has your manager gone to the EMPTIHAD and walked away with 3 points, huh? In his 5 fucking continuation seasons of this project, how many
This is
times
when-
has he done
this
it?
is when I wish-
No. Yeah,
I
that's
wish-
right. That's
I wish
right.
I was in Chicago because the houses here in England are attached to each other. I can hear the fucking neighbor having sex right now, so I can't be screaming or anything like that. I really want to scream so bad because Maresh, you're so, bro, you're in 13. You're in
5 points
13th,
between
Maresh.
us and
You're in
4th.
13th.
We are
How are
closer to
doing
you than
fucking
you
tricks
are
on it?
to
How are you-
Liverpool.
oh my
But
God, how are you
you're
doing
allowed to
tricks
say
on
that
it
you're
when
in a
you're
title
13th?
charge. You're allowed to say you're in a title charge, but we are closer to you in 13th than your delusional ass is to winning a fucking title. So why don't you hold that and learn how to do some math?
That's actually not true. That's
Keep
actually
telling
not
yourself
true.
that. You know what? Whoever has you
table's
next
telling
is
him
going to
that.
fucking shaft you.
No, that's not
The table
true.
is telling him that.
No,
The-
Man
Hey,
United.
Chief, if you think that shit Man United squad is anywhere near, Arteta's squad, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't think we're there. But we made
a dead city. They're playing a dead city team who anyone can beat right now. Anyone can bend them over and beat. And this is the fucking victory lap. What the fuck was he doing? He was doing some stupid little ting 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 nonsense.
No, I mean, look.
Let me just roll back. Why don't we just roll back the book and find all the stupid little shit you and Troops did in 4K? Huh? Why don't we just pull back the fucking history book? Let's do it.
What? No, we weren't in 13th. I wasn't dancing when I was in 13th.
Yeah. Oh, you were dancing. You were doing dances whenever you could.
Take your time with it.
Okay. Yeah.
No, but look.
Take your time with it was recent. There's a bunch more from the banter era.
Take your time with it. Good
but
times.
Like Michigan's down this year, but when they beat Ohio State, that still matters.
Yes.
This is the Manchester Derby. United, this is the type of win that can revitalize that program.
Yep.
Amarin goes in there, he bold team selection, and he gets the win that he desperately needed.
He fell into that win.
It does not matter how.
Thank you, Rudy.
No, neither team was good.
I'm sorry. How the fuck do you drop Marcus Rashford for the Manchester Derby? That's the dumbest thing.
They got 3 points doing it. They got
it's called falling. It's called failing upwards. We had a podcast once at Barstool Sports Network named Failing Upwards. You do the fucking wrong thing and somehow end up being right.
How is that the wrong thing? Do you have the memory of a goldfish?
He shit down his leg.
No.
And then Ahmad has one great play.
There's two games that Marcus Rashford shows up for. He's shit for every other team. He shows up at the Etihad and he shows up at the Emirates Stadium.
Okay, so when we went to the Emirates, where was Marcus Rashford? Where was Marcus Rashford at the Emirates? He's not the same player as he was back then. We played a Wi-Fi password on Thursday night. And he was a fucking ghost, hooked after 45 minutes. And then he deserves to go play against Manchester City after being hooked. People just have the memory of a goldfish. You also don't watch all the games. So you can't sit here and tell me what I'm seeing with my own two eyes.
That was a cooking. That was a cooking, bro. I got to give that to Maresh. I'm sorry.
I don't really.
He's right. I think what his manager.
Everyone said the same thing about Fergie when he benched Beckham, when he benched Cristiano. This is what managers do when you have to send a message to a player. You either ship up or shape up or ship the fuck out.
Is too small to bench Rashford. He's too small to bench Rashford. You know how big of an institution Marcus Rashford is?
He did bench Rashford.
On his way out, and if you think otherwise,
he did. What do you mean he's too small? He did that shit. That's what you got to do. You got to shape up or ship out, and that's the fucking way he's running shit right now.
Preach.
And he's the most spine a manager's had for this team. Marcus Rashford has had a free pass to do whatever the fuck he wants to do at United since he was brought up. He has had the free pass to stink it up, come back and know that he's got a guaranteed spot, but not anymore. He's got to earn it. And you know what? And you know what? I have respect for Marcus Rashford because he did get dropped from that squad, and that does suck. But you know what? He was still cheering on the lads. He posted a picture at full time saying, fucking get in. Garnacho, diva that he is, crickets, radio silence. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Who's not making squad this week for our game in Tottenham? Him.
Garnacho, I don't care about. Rashford, that was
Maresh masterclass.
That was something.
Masterclass.
I don't even know what we're arguing about.
I don't know, but whatever Maresh just did got me kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie, respectfully. I've never seen so much fire in you. I've been waiting for this moment since the first week.
You wake up a sleeping giant.
I will give you this, Maresh.
Wake up a sleeping giant.
I will give you this, Maresh. I do wish that Pep had a little bit more of that. Like at this point, the guys that we can play right now are clearly either kind of injured, low confidence, or just not motivated. Everyone is just, you can tell that everyone is just dead from this like insane run. It's hard to keep people motivated. You got to put in some of the academy guys. You got to send a message. Like you got to get these guys motivated because right now it's just not working. And from his POV, I think he's like, well, listen, I have these players. These are who's available. They're good players. I got to keep playing them. But right now it's like, it's so bad. You got to just put in the young kids.
I mean, he's got to make a decision. Like, do I want these guys sold? If so, I need to get them out. I need to prove to the board that I need them out, and by sitting some of them,
we got to just move on from I love these guys, nothing but respect. We got to move on from the Kyle Walkers of the world. We got to move on from KDBs of the world. We might even have to move on from the Bernardos of the world, and you just got to spend some cash we didn't spend, and it's killing us. And you just need a refresh.
When your
Big
opponent
refresh.
Man
goes,
City fans saying that they didn't spend cash is so crazy.
We bought Savinho.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that either.
But
'cause-
like,
we didn't spend really anything in the window.
but you
how
have
much
Nah,
you spend on
Rudy,
weekly
Rudy,
wages?
come on.
How much
Rudy,
you spend on
Rudy,
weekly
come on.
wages?
Rudy, come on. Rudy,
What
come
do you
on.
mean? Come on.
Don't
We
let's
got
not do
Gondo for free and Savinho.
Okay.
Rudy, let's not do this.
We sold Alvarez. We sold Laporte. We
Oh my
sold
God!
Mahrez.
Yes, you sold Aymeric Laporte.
This is money.
Oh yes.
What was that, 40,
That was a
50?
huge loss to your fucking club.
No, but I'm saying that we don't have any defenders right now. We've sold, but we haven't bought enough. That's a
You
fact.
still have Gvardiol and Diaz.
I get that, but we need more players. We need more players,
You need more than 2 center backs to start a match.
dude.
You don't play a back.
Man
three.
City has had one of the smallest squads over the course of the last 10 years. Pep loves to keep a small squad. Now that's becoming very clear that is not working. He said, I need a bigger squad now. I'm willing to move off that because of how many games we play, and that's a fact.
Well,
all I know is you're cooked when your opponent goes on Instagram after the game and says Manchester is red, violets are blue. What a brilliant performance, but the Oscar goes to Kyle Walker.
I'll tell you that was awesome. That was fucking.
You can get listen. I'll let these kids get their licks in because they finally got the big bad bully when he's at his worst.
What do you mean at your worst? We did it in the FA Cup final too. We did it when you were at your height as well. So I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, but Hoyland's been in the Premier League for a cup of coffee. He
You're-
wants to get his licks in, and this is the same guy. He was probably thinking about that Instagram caption at halftime. The same guy that is paying fan pages to make edits of him.
he does that?
Mm.
A
He's
lot of players.
Yeah.
Zah, is that what you're gonna say? Is that he pays fan pages to make tough edits?
I mean, Hoyland is out here writing poems on fucking Instagram after, as Rudy pointed out, he's asking the faceless Twitter accounts for edits. The guy has only scored, he's like Marish, doing tricks on it when it's 13th. The guy's only scored two goals this season, and here he is telling me that roses are red, violets are blue. Brother, how about you fucking score more goals?
He scored
Manchester
9
United
in
next to help
Europe.
him out, then you can start talking.
He's got a lot of European goals.
All right.
Hoyland's a good player, but listen, I'm letting you guys can get your licks
He's
in
the
now.
wrong guy to be talking in that situation. He did that post. He should not have put that post up.
You know.
All right.
I think a millisecond passed before the game ended before he posted.
Zah.
That. Cringe.
Zah, if you were able to, you're not able to, but if your team was able to beat Man City, especially after how high tempers were at the Etihad earlier this season, can you only imagine the shit that your players would have been posting on Instagram?
I disagree.
well,
And not roses
we're
are red,
gonna get
Oscar
him
goes to
in
you.
February when we get him again. Trust.
We
You
just
don't-
say
you don't
well
play
done. We
there,
just
you'll
say
play
well
it.
done next game.
It'll be at the Emirates.
It'll be at the Emirates, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna grill him. All right, let's move on. I think we spent enough time on the Manchester derby. Chief, I really want to give you the floor right now, but I can't. So just put your arms down. You deserve it. What your team
I'm going to
did.
leave him up.
what
I'm going to
you-
leave him up.
You
but
can
I'll
leave him
it
up. What your team did was special, but what Arsenal did was pathetic. And I want to open up the floor to Zah, because that was one of, I mean, honestly, not even one. That was just who Arsenal has been this year. Big moment, big game, shit down their leg. You don't get 3 points. You got Liverpool drawing to Fulham. Everything was right there for the taking. Chelsea keeps winning, and this team just stays exactly where they are. This team does not have it. There's something missing with this Arsenal football team, at least in the Premier League. Champions League, I don't even know if I could
it's
say that.
missing.
They
I know
beat up on the
it's-
shit teams in Champions League. I just don't think this team has it. That's my
What's
take.
missing is goals from open play.
Yeah,
Thank you, Chief.
Wait, I had a number for Zah and Smokes. I didn't know if they were going to be able to figure it out. 3.
What's that? Open play goals?
Zah, any guesses?
I don't do your stupid bits, Maresh.
3 is the amount of Premier League games it's been since you've scored a goal from open play.
Damn. Yeah, that's pretty pathetic. Is that a true?
But no,
is that a
but
true
no,
stat?
but they are title contenders. They are more of a title contender than Forest possibly could be, right, Chief? Right? Because they're the mighty Arsenal. They're the mighty Arsenal, but they can't score from open play in the Premier League. That's crazy.
It's that's the crazy part, right? Is that we have him puffing out his chest, running his mouth, and all that. We're fighting with 2 games off the top. With 2 games off the top, it's not even halfway through the
You're
season,
3.
and people are saying that it's over.
And they have a game. And they have a
36,
game in
that's two
hand.
games.
And they have a game in
That's
hand.
two. My brother, the game in hand.
I know
is
you.
only a
I know
game in
you
hand
can't.
when
I
you
know you can't beat Everton, but United can. So I'm sure Liverpool fucking can.
Liverpool
Low
did
blow.
not beat Fulham. Liverpool did not beat Fulham. Liverpool is not a guaranteed for Everton.
They had a
game
red
in hand is not a
card.
game
They had
in
a red
hand.
card.
They were losing
game
before
in
that,
hand.
though.
But then they
we
came
had
back
red
and
cards
tied it
too.
up.
Let me tell you something. We had red cards too. What the fuck did they tell us? What
Yeah,
did they tell
well,
us?
well,
That
it's
doesn't
because
matter.
you had a
Arsenal
red
should have
card.
won
You
that
sit
game.
back in a fucking
Liverpool
box
should
when
have
Liverpool
won that
goes
game.
at their
No
throat.
excuses. Red cards. They could not beat Fulham at Anfield. That's it. They should have won that game, red card or not. Liverpool has to win that game, and they haven't.
Hey,
it's
fair,
not
fair.
over. We're 6 points behind. I get it. You beat Manchester City, and you're happy. You're in 13. Relax. You're nowhere near that.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what? Who's doing better than you and actually doing the things right when things fucking matter and teams drop
How
points?
is Manchester
Chelsea.
United doing better than
Chelsea.
me when
I'm not
Manchester
talking
United
about.
has
I'm not
22
talking about
points
Manchester
back
United. You fucking spineless little brat who fucking runs away whenever your team fucking loses. I show up every fucking week
do you mean?
and I
What
get
do you
dog
mean?
walked by
Wait,
all these
I'm right
motherfuckers.
here.
All these
I'm
weeks,
right
you
here.
spineless
I'm
little twat.
halfway.
You
I'm
run, you
halfway
cry. I'm
fucking
not gonna be
grown,
anybody's
and I am
pet.
right
Your team
here.
fucking
What do you
shit.
mean I
Your
run
team
away?
is shit, and you think you're
I'm
the
right
fucking
here.
on the
I'm halfway
mountain.
across the
You
globe,
think
and
you're
I'm
on a
right here.
fucking mountain. No. Sit here, you fucking drew Everton at home because you can't score a fucking goal from open play. You're bums.
Holy-
Anyway, I don't have my mask. I don't have my mask, so Jackson Michaels bleached. So I don't have my mask. I wish I had my freaking mask walking around central London. Everybody's asking me what the fuck is going on. And this is what I hate about being here. I need to go back to Chicago because no one in the football community knows me in Chicago. Anywhere I go, people are asking me what is going on with Arsenal. Bro, I don't know. I honestly don't know. The defenders are fine. I don't know what's going on up front.
The
All
midfield
of them
sucks.
are-
Midfield's
they
terrible.
are useless. From midfield up, all of them are absolutely useless right now, and they have to figure it out. I'm not hearing this nonsense about the manager this, the manager that, the manager this.
We're just
that
missing
team that was put up
chances.
for Everton should have won the game. Period. I don't care what tactics it is. I do not care. That team was strong enough to beat Everton, and they did it. They are embarrassing the entire fan base.
Yep.
I cannot show my face out in London because I'm being asked what the hell is going on with Arsenal. They honestly need to figure it out. And Arteta is, he gets the brunt of it, but those players need to wake up. They need to honestly wake up. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Martinelli, people need to
Waste.
get this whole baby thing out the thing. That's a grown-ass man. People treat him like he's a 12-year-old that came through our academy at 9 years old. Bro, that guy stinks. He is stinking. He's stinking up the joint. The left side needs to figure their shit out.
The left side
Havertz
is horrible.
doing nothing up front. Trossard, when he's coming in, he's doing nothing. Saka's trying, but he's doing nothing. It's
I mean,
It's a
and look,
disaster.
I love Odegaard, but
Odegaard
he could have had a
doing
fucking
nothing.
hat trick in the first half.
Odegaard
This team is just
useless, doing
allergic to putting the
nothing.
ball in the net. I've never seen anything like it. It's sad.
They really are pissing me off. I don't want to turn on them, but it's like it show some.
You don't want
spine.
to turn on him.
Show
You're not even
some
showing your
goddamn
face.
spine.
Remember when Arsenal won that Champions League game and Za was like, "We need to believe in Martinelli." That was cute.
That was like 6 days ago.
And-
Yeah, I
and he
remember.
said, we have to
I haven't
believe in
given up. I
Jesus.
haven't given up. I said he's playing terrible, which is true. I mentioned facts. But
So-
it's like people always baby, and they can't even say that he's playing terrible. He's playing terrible. What the issue is, I have no idea. I think it's a confidence thing because those players are good enough. It's like the situation at Man City. It's a confidence thing. When it does click, it will click. I think we will go on a run. I'm not going to panic. It's not over, as I pointed out to you. We're 6 points off the top. We're okay. But this whole nonsense of how we're playing right now, it needs to end the next game. And I will be at the next game. If it doesn't, I will pop my fuse. I'll pop a fuse.
Za, do you think this theory has any legs? So the Twitter streets are saying Enzo leaves his wife and children and starts performing every week. Odegaard gets a son and starts stinking every week. Do you think we need some players to get divorced on this team to turn shit around?
That's a good point.
Damn, women are haram.
Yeah, that is actually a really good point. Something to think about.
That's why Kyle Walker was at his best when he was cycling through them.
Right.
People will look for everything. People will look at everything. When you're down, now look at what's going on. When everything was fine and dandy and we're winning, people weren't mentioning AFTV, who do interviews every single game, whether we win or we lose. They're out there. Now that we're losing, AFTV this, AFTV that. It's crazy. Now people are saying babies babies. People are talking about people's kids and wives and babies because we're losing. They just need to start winning games. That's actually what it just comes to. Just win games and fans will be happy.
True.
Also, shout out to Pickford, though. He played his fucking ass off. He kept everything out. I mean, I feel like Arsenal had...
Odegaard, I'm going to...
Everyone's having a bad time.
I'm having a great time.
I mean, do you guys have anything on Arsenal before I give it to Chief?
I know Za hinted at it.
Maresh doesn't have anything on Arsenal. Move on.
No. I know. And this is a question for the room. Okay, then why don't you turn the speakers down, little boy? I'll talk to fucking Smokes.
All right, I'm listening.
At what point do you fucking start asking questions about the manager?
Right now.
You see Enzo in his first season with success. Obviously, it's a different. He was handed $1 billion squad.
$1.2 billion. That's a billion with a B.
On the inverse side, you see Arne Slot, first season. He only bought Federico Chiesa. They're having success with their teams. I think that Mikel was instrumental in revitalizing the culture at Arsenal and turning things around. But is this the limit of where he can reach?
Yeah, does he have a ceiling?
Again,
I think that's a great question.
Reality check to everybody. I just turned my phone on and I looked.
I thought you muted it.
Can I be honest with you real quick?
16 games, 30 points. Liverpool, 15 games, 36 points.
Can I be honest with you?
The season ends at 38.
Watching Arsenal play, I feel like they put themselves in position to score goals. And the players are just not executing them. I feel like if you go back, the amount of one-on-one sitters they miss, the shots that Odegaard miss, like, I don't know if it all falls on the manager. More so like this team might just have a mental block on attack.
No, it doesn't.
But if this team doesn't if they get outdone by Chelsea this year, you might have to sack Arteta.
So you can, what's the saying? You can take a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink.
Correct.
The horse has been to water.
But you also have to take into consideration if Arteta's the one that has the biggest say in these signings, and we just sat there with fucking Havertz and Martinelli on the left, knowing it's not enough.
The tactics get Jesus a one-on-one opportunity. He's the one that.
But who brought in Jesus?
Ed.
No. You're telling me Mikel didn't bring him and Zinchenko over from Man City?
Who brought in Sterling?
You're giving him a pass.
Who brought in Sterling? Because he's been shit. He's been shit. We don't even play him. The only player we sign, he sits on the bench. He doesn't even come in as a sub.
No, he did. But again, it's
what's the but?
This notion of it's Arteta. You can't be babying a big salary guy. Jesus, I get he's not a great finisher and all that, but those one-on-ones just simply have to go in. Those one-on-ones simply have to go in. The tactics provided the fucking chance being wide open, and then the guy just misses. Same with Odegaard.
At the same time, what you're saying he's doing to the players, you're doing to him. You're babying him and giving him excuses as to why Arteta.
No. I said the season ain't over. This conversation we'll have the proper conversation when the game tally reaches 38.
Yes.
If he doesn't win a title, if we don't Premier League or the Champions League, I'll want him out.
If we don't win that was my question. So Premier League or Champions League, or he's sacked.
If we don't win the Premier League or Champions League, I want him out. However, I will not be having this. I don't have the Arteta conversation week in, week out.
Okay, that's fair.
Conversation at 30.
Fine.
That's fair. I think that's very fair.
That's what I'm saying.
That whole analogy of you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. That's the manager's job, is to get guys to drink. It's to get guys to play well with confidence, to execute the game plan. That's his whole job. So if it's on him, it is ultimately on him. So if they don't have a major trophy, you're willing to fire him, that's fine. I agree. It'd be crazy to fire him mid-season, but that is his job, is to get the most out of those players, and he is not.
I think that's a great point.
I think the main thing I've learned is that football's hard.
Yes, very hard.
Yeah,
which makes our accomplishments that much more impressive.
Oh, fuck off, you twat.
4 in a row, baby.
All right, let's talk about Nottingham Forest.
Let's talk about those mighty tricky
What
streets.
a game.
What a game.
We're in the 80th minute. You guys are down 1-0. You basically score 3 goals. They take one off. VAR sucks, by the way. We'll get into that. I don't want to focus on the negative because What I saw from Forest was beautiful. You know what they have that Arsenal doesn't? Balls. They went
got
out
that
there
fucking
at
chest,
home,
baby.
came back, and took the 3 points, where we would have just sat around like baby back bitches like we did against Everton and not scored. And I hate to rag my own team, but what I saw from Forest was fucking beautiful. You guys go out there, back like just the 3 goals in 10 minutes. I know they took one away, but still, just to see them fight till the fucking end and get those 3 points, I think that's a testament to where your club is right now. And Chief, the floor is yours. You should be on top of the world because that was beautiful football.
I agree. Well said. And I can't remember if I said it here, but I was definitely talking to Forest people about it. I was starting to be concerned about it's Chris Wood or nothing. We've kind of evolved mid-season here, where it's like now Elanga finally gets his first of the year, and he was dangerous off the bench. You get Milenkovic has goals in 2 consecutive games. They're scoring, you should watch Forest. They're scoring from open play, and it's beautiful. And they, in years past, they give up that goal, and then they have one taken away. They fucking melt, and they lose the game, and it is what it is. A year ago, at this stage, we were 4th from bottom, 14 points. Cooper's on his way out. Now we're 4th from top. It's unbelievable. Double the points. We're on that European track. It's the Forest Focus podcast. They have this like European success meter. You need 1.57 points per game to qualify for Europe. Now it's like, I don't even know if that's good enough. We got to be focusing on Champions League and finishing 4th. That's where this club belongs. We are a giant club. We have 2 European championships. That's what those stars are, Za. Those are for European championships. That's what that means. You'll never sing that. This team has balls. They have heart. That crowd was in it. There's nothing like City Ground under the lights. It's one of the true jewels of English football. And they delivered. The crowd delivered. The team delivered. They go down 1. Morgan Gibbs-White was not having his best game. We go down 1. He says, fuck it. I'm making things happen. He's creating chances. Elanga off the bench. I'm so happy for him. You take a goal away. He's off by a nut hair. Fuck it. We'll go out and get 2 more. This team, they're so resilient. They play for each other. Doesn't matter who's in. Doesn't matter who's starting, who's coming off the bench. When this team is healthy, they can compete with anybody. So, yeah, we lost to Arsenal. Well, that's because we were without 3 of our best players. That's the way it goes sometimes. We drop points away at Arsenal, come back on into City Ground later in the year. And the standard has been raised. There was a quote from Ryan Yates. They asked him, because the next 2 games are away at Brentford and Spurs at home. And it's like, well, what is a good result for those 2 games? You know what Yates said? 6 points. That's the expectation. 6 points from those 2 games against teams that are traditionally or in recent history above Forest. Not anymore. We're going to get 6 points there, and then it's Everton and Wolves. Every game they have a legitimate shot to win. They play together. They play their system. They got Nuno's pulling the right strings. Things are going well. I hope that they'll probably add in January to strengthen this team further, and it's on we go. This team can play with anybody, and it doesn't matter if the refs are against them. It doesn't matter as long as they got City Ground, and that was a concern earlier in the year. They haven't been great at home. Well, now guess what? I will admit I was a little nervous heading into Villa. That's a top 5-6 team. They're in Champions League. We had 2 games against top flight opponents, Man City and Arsenal, where we just didn't get the results. It didn't play the way we wanted to play. This was like a statement game against another top quality team. We got that win, and now we keep rolling. And Zach Haney, he's looking through his fingers. He's wiping tears from his eyes because he can't handle Forest is knocking on your door. We're 1 little point behind. We're coming. You guys are a mess. We're trending up. You're trending down. It's time to start dreaming in a real way. Start dreaming. Za, sure. Hand up. Floor is yours.
I swear to God. Sorry, I shouldn't be swearing to God. But I swear, the second I get my passport back from the U.S. Embassy here in London, and I'm back in that seat in Chicago, right? That seat right next to Nicky Smokes. You guys have your day right now. Just let Arsenal win. Let Arsenal win and let us go on a run. You'll see. If you thought I was obnoxious early on with how I danced, walk around, you'll see. Okay.
We're gonna have to have a rotate. We're
So
gonna
what if
have
you-
to
what
be
if you
like
go on a
Game of
run and you-
Thrones.
and
We're gonna
what
have
if-
all these masks around.
Yeah.
We gotta have a lot of masks for Jackson Michael. Jackson Michael might die on the way home. You're gonna have a new alter ego. You're gonna have to change your identity 6-7 more times this year.
Imagine having to put on a mask after your team doesn't win a game. Imagine that.
Bro, I wish I had that freaking orange mask here. And it's crazy.
That's
Any
just
train
that's
I
just
go
crazy
on,
to
bro.
me that you
Any
have to
train
put on a
I go
mask.
on. They're embarrassing me. They really are embarrassing.
I'm very, very happy for Forest. I think it's very cool when a team that isn't in recent years been very good, and then they go from, like you said, Chief, being so low, and then now they're just firing on all cylinders. My only concern is that you got to think like, Chief, once you get into these like big conversations where you're always at the top, you got to think like years ahead. Just FYI. Mm-hmm. I'm very worried, or more so curious. Like I'm worried that the team is, if you continue on this trajectory and you finish top 4 or even top 6, I'm worried that the team is just going to get pillaged, and it's just going to be like Leicester City, where you're just like incredible, and then all of a sudden you just get pillaged and you're back down to wherever.
They won't get pillaged until they win something. I think that's
Leicester
when you get
City.
pillaged.
Leicester City won it in 2016. They didn't get relegated until last year, so they had an 8-year run, and their ownership does not have the ambition that they won it. It was like lightning in a bottle. It was like one of the greatest sports stories of all time.
Agreed. It is a little bit different. Agreed.
It's a little bit different when Marinakis is like, I'll just go, he'll go bankrupt. I really believe that he doesn't give a fuck about money, and he will do what it takes. And you heard Nuno say before this past season, because they didn't do a ton of work. They brought in Jota Silva, they brought in Milenkovic, but not big ticket guys compared to what they did when they had to sign 30 guys the first year to field the team. It was like, what was your best business? It was keeping Murillo, and it was keeping Morgan Gibbs-White and Anthony Elanga. Now that I do think that I really hope that this gets him going. But Newcastle offered $40 million for him, and we're like, no, we need him.
Yeah,
90% of teams in the league, in the world, be like $40 million for a winger we just got for 16. Sure, but we're like, no, because we're not going to be able to replace him in time. We need that speed going down the wing. He's a great kid. He's an important part of the culture of that locker room. We can't give him up because we have high expectations and ambitious goals. So that I do think that they will do everything in their power, especially like you said, if they qualify for Europe, nobody's going anywhere. Because Murillo, he's getting looked at like if Real Madrid comes calling,
Murillo
they offer
to
$100
Real
million
Madrid.
and he want what?
Murillo to Real Madrid.
That has been rumored. Barcelona and Real Madrid for Murillo. Has been
maybe.
rumored.
I'm not even gonna troll because he is a good player. He's a good player. I'm not even gonna.
I'm
I mean,
more worried.
Arsenal was looking at him.
Yeah, we almost bought him. He
you guys
He's a
are
good
gonna
player.
play him
I
at
just
left
that
back 'cause
that
you're
would be
fucking
instead of Calafiori.
that would
Instead of
be
Calafiori, we're gonna get him.
that would be
big
one of the
mistake.
wilder
You should-
transfers headlines I have ever seen. Just like when Navas went from PSG to you guys on that loan.
Yeah, I would be.
Right? Was that you guys or was that someone else?
I don't remember. I think it was. Yeah, he went to some.
Jesus Navas came from
No,
Sevilla.
the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Oh, Kilo.
Yeah.
Kilo.
Oh,
So he went from
he
City
came
to
to us.
PSG.
Yeah, that
Well, he's
that was
backing up
like you just didn't think that there was a business pipeline between Nottingham Forest and PSG.
Yeah.
But apparently there is.
From not City, sorry,
that's
PSG.
Marinakis.
From Forest.
That's Marinakis. Like we were in a bad spot because Dean Henderson was out for the year. They had a Wayne Hennessy who's like 40 years old and terrible as our only option. So they got him on loan in January to kind of put their finger in the dike and keep this thing, make sure we stay up, and it worked.
Sorry, what did you
And
say?
Yeah, what?
they're able
Wait.
Yeah.
What did you just say?
That's a rare.
That's like an old fable. You never heard that?
No,
I'm
Finger in
trying.
the
I'm
dike.
trying to do that, dude.
yeah, sounds like Rudy's Friday night.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
like me.
that's a real saying. It's a real saying. But
I
yeah,
would just
like,
be. I would just be very worried about keeping Morgan Gibbs-White because there are going to be
sure.
some suitors.
But yeah,
Of course, he's an England international. Of course, there's going to be some suitors.
Yeah.
But this is a guy.
Tottenham.
That's what I was
What?
going to say. Where does he fit in the league?
Tottenham.
Like a
Right?
Tottenham? Yeah?
Tottenham probably.
Yeah, but they got James Madison. The other thing about Morgan, he loves being the man. He wants that number 10 on it. He likes wearing the armband. He likes being the alpha dog. Is he going to be that at
No, if
Spurs?
you guys get European qualification, which is definitely reasonable. So if you get that, you're going to keep the whole team because they're going to be invested in the
Correct.
fact that they they built this to where they are.
Correct.
The problem you run into, that Leicester ran into, is that if you win anything major, I'm not talking FA Cup. FA Cup would still be great and a big step up from where you are. If you did win a Premier League, that's when you start to get pillaged. Because then everyone's going to say, these guys are proven, they can win leagues. I'm going to take them on my bigger team, no matter where that is in the world.
Maybe I'm just a bit more of a pessimist. Like, you can be all invested all you want in the team, but if the money talks.
There it is, Rudy.
Certainly,
there it is.
Certainly, the money talks.
There it is.
But I do think, I mean, this has been a talking point with Forest for forever. I do think they are a sleeping giant. They're expanding the stadium. Marinakis, his ambition knows no bounds. He's owned Olympiacos for years.
And
they are
Arsenal
the
just starts
Bayern Munich
slapping
of Greece. And so he's applying that same ambition to Nottingham Forest. And this team belongs at the top. Look at it. I mean, there is an alternate universe where one of these oil barons from the Middle East or the Russian guy who bought Chelsea, if he just decided, I want a team, one of those guys decided 20 years ago, I want a team that's won 2 European championships and has great tradition, then we would be in the top 6 too. Now we have that guy that's willing to spend all the money to keep Forest where they are. Yeah. And they are, and if they expand the stadium, they get more revenue, they get more brand recognition in America and everywhere else. This club can be among that Aston Villa, Newcastle, like that tier of team that crashes the party, and they don't have to have like this, we're burning extremely hot for a short period of time and get pillaged. They do have staying power, and they've done good business. Like, you look at one of the other guys they signed, they got him from Germany. He's an 18-year-old. He can be the replacement for Ola Aina, theoretically. Like, he's looked great in limited appearances. Yeah. Then you got Morata, who comes in yesterday with huge play to anticipate that, to get the ball back that led to, the tackle with Anderson over to Erlanga. That, like, he's the Murillo replacement. He's only 23 years old. Like, they are doing good business. And George Sarianos, who's the head of football for us, like, he's built this team, and it's great. So, yeah, it sucks when they had to lose Brennan Johnson. I don't anticipate that happening in the next 18 months with these other star players.
No, I hope it happens. I would love to have you guys in the conversation every year. Having said that, if we're the ones doing the pillaging,
so be it.
I watch, I don't judge. What is this saying?
I sit.
We
listen and we don't judge.
I listen and I don't judge. Yeah. If we pillage you, then hey, that's game's game. But I hope you guys stay. It's awesome.
Yeah, and last thing I'll say is that you guys have journeymen. Like, you have Anthony Elanga burned by a big club. He's going to have an investment in some heartstrings pulled by staying at Forest. The guys that gave him a chance. Hudson-Odoi, same thing, was burned by Chelsea, sent to Milan, had to fight for his way to get back to the Premier League as an Englishman. And now he's killing it. So you guys have guys that have been burned, and even Chris Wood was around.
Chris Wood
was around big teams. Obviously, he's a little bit older, so he doesn't have much juice left. But you got guys that have been burned.
They're working on a 2-year deal for him too, and I do think they'll eventually go out and get another striker. Taiwo is like that too. He was a Liverpool guy. They shipped him off. So I think that is part of this, where it's like almost like the Vegas Golden Knights when they went on that Stanley Cup run their first year. Mm-hmm. It was like, I can't remember, they called them like they called themselves like the Rejects or something like that. Like, Forest has a lot of guys with a chip on their shoulder, and they play for each other. They play together. It is a great fan base. It really is. And I think guys love playing there.
One of your guys was in my DMs this weekend. I can't remember which one. One of your Forest guys.
Okay.
He was in my DMs, and he was like, "Got to get you guys out here. I got connections. We'll get you guys into the stadium."
That would rock,
dude. I'm all in.
I'm all in.
I'd love to get it happen.
Listen. I'm right now.
Marash,
we're
send
in a
that to me offline,
pattern.
and I'll tell you if it's a guy with real pull.
All right, cool.
I'm in a holding pattern with City right now. I would love to just jump on the bandwagon. I won't claim like the victory. I won't be like, I just want to sit by and watch.
Amen.
I just want to ride on. I just want to be on the ride and just watch someone else just have a good time.
Oh yeah, I mean,
these trees got branches for everybody. So just come on, we got a spot for you.
I can't wait to all get called a bunch of fat Americans when we go.
I mean, I'm skinny.
I'm fat.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be fine.
It's a rebuild.
We're in a rebuild, dude.
We're in a rebuild.
Tis what it is, dude. Tis what it is.
Let's talk about this Fulham Liverpool game. How sweet is it that the best left back in the Premier League plays for the United States? I didn't know he was born and raised over in England, but goddamn, am I happy that he plays for the Stars and Stripes.
The biggest giveaway on that is that
Anthony with two E's.
Anthony, yeah. How many Americans you hear go by Anthony when their name's Anthony?
So do you think he he definitely has an English accent, right?
Yeah. I think
do you think he's calling like his American bros like blokes? Or
Yeah,
do you think
Giga.
he's a little Americanized? Because he's been with the U.S. men's national team since he was a youngin.
Yeah, like he probably made that.
That's for 2 weeks every 2-3 months.
Mhm.
He's got the British accent.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, he is
He is a good player.
He's
absolutely
unbelievable.
banging form right now. Very good player, and he is the reason why Fulham, like having a left back that can go down the pitch and put in a ball into the box that will set up for a goal, is a stunning player to have. So
It brings a tear to my eye. It's something that City just doesn't have right now. That we're getting killed on the fullback
did
position.
you see what he was doing though after the game?
Yeah, he was liking comments on Instagram about him going to Liverpool.
Yeah, all the Scousers were on his comment section going,
Yeah.
"You would look good in red, mate. You'd look good in red." Or I can't
Come join us.
I can't do a true Scouser accent, but it doesn't sound like what I was doing. But they were all pretty much
I mean,
working for it.
they you know why? It's because of what the joke man Andy Robertson did. That is why they want that dude.
Yeah, but he was liking their messages. He was like,
Yeah,
kind
you
of
could,
like- he
you
was
could
kind of
literally
flirting
you could
back.
see
He was
on
kind of flirting
Instagram.
back, yeah.
You could see on Instagram liked by author, and the comment was, "Come join us. Like we need you at Liverpool," and he's liking the comment.
But that's the thing. I kind of was talking about with Chief
Liverpool
is that
cuts
like
them fat checks, boy. They
Yeah,
cut them fat checks.
it's like what I was telling Chief. Like you can love the team that you're on, and then like the Fulhams of the world. Like you can love the city, love the stadium, all the stuff. But when like the Liverpools and all that shit come a knocking, every
Yep.
player wants to play for those super big blue check mark teams. It's sad, but it's
Totally.
He's on 20K at Fulham. Liverpool coming with 120K a week.
Right. No, and you're totally right. Okay. But Manchester City was a club like that in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Where they were like one of those kind of also ran teams, and then they got the financial backing, and now they're one of the biggest clubs in the world.
Yeah.
So
you
in
don't
terms of
necessarily have
trophies.
Abu Dhabi money, but you do
No,
have a
we
lot of
don't.
money. You have money to
don't.
increase the wage bills from 20K.
And you
to-
didn't really get the chance to slide by when the regulations were a little whatever.
Gather down.
So
Correct.
we'll see. Because we definitely skid by when it was like, and now we're still kind of paying the price. Like we'll see, but we definitely slid by when the Premier League was sort of looking the other way. So
No,
it's a
I
little
know.
harder now.
I do think that they'll, especially with Morgan. I do in my heart of hearts. I think Morgan will be here, and I think they'll prioritize Morgan over Murillo. But I think Murillo's going to Spain. I do.
Yeah.
I think he'll be in Spain unless they're in Champions League next year.
Mhm.
If they're in Europe, I think he stays one more year and then he's gone. And they'll get a fat check for him, and they'll replenish and just keep this thing on the rails. And they've already the Morata thing. He was the signing to safeguard if they were losing Murillo in the summer. That's why they signed Morata.
Yeah.
And so they have a plan. They've been executing the plan, and but I would be stunned if Morgan left to go to Spurs or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Like I just don't see it happening. Murillo, if in my heart of hearts, I do think that he'll be gone. He won't finish here.
Yeah. To get back to Liverpool, though, I mean, I did not think they were going to salvage any points out of that one. I don't know if you guys all watched
No,
that.
I agree.
But they, I mean, Jota scored the last one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
tie the game. But, I mean, their ability to just stay in the game, they stay on the front foot no matter where they are. So,
Yeah, I mean,
Let me
this
tell you
is-
something. You
Liverpool's
swap
always done
around. You
this.
swap around them teams, similar circumstances. The swap around them teams. You put Arsenal in that situation. People are on the internet are going nuts. Why didn't Arsenal win Fulham at home?
no,
That was a terrible result for them.
Don't,
It's
don't
as plain
do
as that.
this. Don't do this. It's because you don't
It's 'cause
go
they're on
for
top
it.
of the table.
And you don't.
It's as
you also,
plain as simple as that.
No,
It was a
it's
terrible
not an
result for
Arsenal
Liverpool.
thing. It is
Anfield,
not an Arsenal
Fulham.
thing. You are so always make something about you. It is not always about you. The difference between this result and Arsenal is you sat
Watch
back.
him do
You sat
gymnastics.
back.
Watch him do gymnastics.
You're
Watch-
sat
watch
back.
him.
They didn't sit back. They were
Watch
on
him.
the front foot. They didn't sit down and
Watch
lay down. Am I not wrong, Rudy?
No, here's
This
the
is
thing. Here's
this
the thing.
is sad.
Here's
this
the thing.
is sad
No, no,
coming
no.
from you. Sad and
No,
embarrassing coming from
I'm
you.
not.
Wearing-
I'm trying to
wearing
be
the
fair
shirt.
and
You see
objective
that
because this
badge
is
on
a
your-
show
the
for
badge-
fans of
the
all
badge on your
teams.
chest. You see that badge on your chest, and
What,
you're
so
saying
you want me to
this?
bend over for you too? Shut the fuck
is- this
up.
is
No,
I'm
hold
trying
on,
to be
hold on.
objective and fair,
You're
unlike
doing
you.
tricks on it for Liverpool.
Here's the
This is
thing.
sad.
Hold on.
No, I'm
Here's
not
the
doing
thing.
sonnets. I'm just
Mediator,
trying to be
mediator here.
objective.
I love
Mediator
it.
here.
Yo.
Mediator here. Za is correct in saying that if Arsenal were in
1,000% correct.
no, hold on, mediator talking.
I'll just mute it.
Za is correct in saying that if Arsenal were in this position and you got the same result, people would be jumping down your throats. The big caveat being that you got to look in the mirror. It's you guys. You guys are insane. Now, having said that, Liverpool going for 80 minutes? It happened in the 20th minute they lost Robertson.
So 70 minutes.
70th minute. Yeah, so they played 70 minutes with 10 men. This is what Liverpool does, and this is why they're probably the definite champions this season, is because they are always going to stay in the games. They have that juice. And to me, yes, it is a bit of a stumble, but getting a result out of that is fucking insane. And they're always staying alive in the competition. And to be honest with you, they are leagues ahead of everyone else.
When did we get our red card against Man City?
Okay,
Halftime.
When did we get our red card against Man City? What was
Halftime.
the story after Man City right at the death? Johnny Stones had to rescue them.
That's
What
because
was
of
the
how it
story,
happened.
Nicky?
That's because
Arsenal-
Za. Listen,
Arsenal's terrible.
Za. We were winning
Yes,
that game.
you were winning.
We were winning.
Arsenal's
Liverpool
terrible.
was
Arsenal's this,
losing.
that.
Liverpool was
I'm
losing
not-
and
I
equalized it
am
with
not
10 men.
he-
That's the
I am not
difference.
hearing any of it, Nicky Smokes. Liverpool was losing against Fulham at home at Anfield. Why? How are you now doing tricks on it for Liverpool?
I'm not doing tricks. I'm telling you why the narrative is different. It's because we were up 2-1 with 10 men and bottled it the last 15 seconds. They were down 2-1 with 20 minutes and got a result.
Liverpool should not have been
That's
down
the difference.
at home. They are Liverpool. They're top of the league. They should never have been down.
Hey,
But
look.
because it's Arsenal, the story is always different. When it's Liverpool, it's Liverpool was up, they were down.
Okay,
Arsenal
but
was
Za, realistically,
Za.
how many points have we dropped already this year compared to Liverpool? That's why the narrative's different.
That's it. If you guys were sitting on top of the table and you had a red card go against you at home and you dropped points against a good
Do you want me
team,
to go back last year when we lost games, when we were on top of the table, and show you what was going on? It's got nothing like that. It's got nothing to do with
you
guys. are saying.
guys have the stink of being bottle jobs, so everybody's on the scent for it when you
So,
drop points.
let's-
Liverpool has some more cachet than you, and they are on top of the table, and they do look the best, and the circumstances around that game and in that game were different. That's what it is. It's a
Why didn't
different
you bring up
story.
the
That's
Brighton?
why
Why
you
didn't you
treat
bring
it
up the
differently.
Brighton game?
I unfortunately will not be doing tricks on it for Liverpool. That was an awful result for them, and all the Liverpool fans themselves will tell you that it's you guys that are you're saying this stupid stuff. They will tell you in the comments that Za's right. They should have won that game.
Nobody in the history of the show has ever left a comment saying Za was
I am
right.
praying, inshallah, that will be the game. I'm going to come back and I will tell you, we're going to come back to this episode. Watch.
Bro prays to a different God every week. So
I can't believe I'm going to talk about the Wolves-Ipswich game before the Chelsea game, but I feel like it's warranted. That game,
Well, they sacked the manager.
sacked the manager. I told you, don't sleep on Ipswich. I told you they were going to score on a corner, and
Nicky
they
Smokes,
walked
your
it
hairline looks
off.
great, by the way.
Thank you.
It does.
Thank you, Za. I appreciate that.
This angle, it kind of does. Sorry,
I'm going to be a menace with this new
That was
hairline.
the first time I saw you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But let's stay on topic here. Ipswich doing that to Wolves. The only person they should be thanking is the guy walking back from the bathroom, Rudy. Official pick of the week, Wolves. All you lot except for me. We're like, oh, free win. There's a talent gap, talent difference. Well, guess what? Wolves suck. They suck. They are sorry. I was watching a clip of their manager that's now sacked, just talking about how he's got no answers for why they keep giving up goals on set pieces.
hands up. Hands up.
Wolves
I
had
was wrong.
so many opportunities to win that game. They shit down their leg, and push comes to shove. The one thing that they probably focused on all week was not letting people score on set pieces, and they let it up on the last kick of the game. And shout out to Ipswich. These guys don't win a lot, but when they do, it's on the fucking road. These guys have grit.
They do. I hope they find a way to stay up. The Wolves thing is crazy because
I don't.
I do think that they have pretty good talent. Like they got dogs. Like Cunha's a dog. But the effort, like Ant Nori, I don't know how much of that game you guys watched.
Didn't he try
That
to get in
guy
a
was
fight?
out for he was out for a Sunday stroll.
He got
does
in a
not,
fight
like-
after the game.
Yeah, he was trying to. He
Yeah.
was trying to fight.
But like, where was the fight the whole 90 minutes?
That's what
Like,
they were saying online.
Right.
Yeah.
They
You know
said
what?
he had more fight in him after the final whistle than the entire 90 minutes.
And you know what?
he was a bum.
You
in
can
that
sit
game.
there and ride Ipswich, and I want them to succeed for Kieran McKenna, but I'm so fucking sick and tired of seeing Ed Sheeran on my TV anytime that game is on. I'm so sick and tired of it. Nobody gives a fuck about Ed Sheeran. At least I don't. I don't care.
I don't.
And so that is the one bad part about having them in the Premier League is that we have to see his ugly mop on TV.
Yeah.
It's like Taylor Swift
I agree,
with the
but
Chiefs.
It's the same thing,
the
yeah.
other thing with this is that there's this narrative which I don't really agree with, but there's this like, oh, there's this huge gap between the Prem and the Championship, and it's 3 up and it's 3 down every single time. I don't know why that's such a thing, because the class that came up with Forest was Bournemouth and Fulham, and all three of those teams.
Bournemouth is one of the best teams right now.
Yeah,
I agree.
Fulham was another sleeping giant down there where like they were always in the Premier League as long as I watched it.
I know, but I would like it if Ipswich stayed up and was able to kind of buck that narrative and made, like, I really love the pyramid because I think it's like one of the coolest things in sports. I don't want it to be this situation where there is this gap. I want teams to have the belief that if they come up, it's not just like we're doing it for the parachute payment on the way back down.
Yeah.
So I want Ipswich to stay up. I like Kieran McKenna too. And I think having new blood in the league is good for the league.
I think my favorite part of watching the Premier League is when you see a moment like that, last kick of the game, you're on the road, and the whole team, their first instinct is to run to their away fans, hop over the fucking barrier, and it's just like they acknowledge their fans like they play a big role in the game. And I think that's like, you don't really get that much in the NFL. Like, sure, some guys will score a touchdown, like give a ball to a fan, but the whole team is fucking tailing it to the away end, and I just love like the players are going crazy, like the fans look like the fucking seats are about to fall down. Like, it is magical to watch. It's one of my favorite things about the league.
We saw Onana do that to the United away end when they scored.
Limbs,
great. Yeah, limbs everywhere. I love that. I love that word.
Dude, they stayed for like I think an hour or two after the match, the away side, and just whooped it up in there.
It means more over there. It really does.
Yeah.
Which is why I was disappointed when I went to the Emirates and I was like, oh, this isn't as sick as I thought it would be.
You guys are a plastic club.
Well, but then again, we lost 2-0. So what do I expect?
Yeah,
I hope the away end for Arsenal. Emirates is dead.
I hope that I hope Ipswich stay up too. I mean, I bet Cooney to score, and I bet Wolves, because to me it was like, all right, Wolves, I can see the argument where you've been unlucky. Let's turn this around. This is a big win. And then them losing this one, firing the coach. We now know this was like a coin flip, two-face type of deal where it's like you either are actually okay and good and you're going to be all right, or you're dog shit and you're going to go down. And they're clearly going to go down. Having said that, that first goal was wildly unlucky for Ipswich.
It's going to be a race to see who gets Cunha then, because he's the diamond in the rough.
Yeah, he is. He's very good.
That's if he's not thrown in jail.
Welcome.
That's if he's not thrown in jail.
No, if we want to go down the jail route, how much time you got? We'll go back to
elbowing someone is assault.
We'll go back to North London.
Chill with that.
Listen, guys, you guys can talk all you want. I'm facing 130.
Say it, Maresh. Say it.
MC 130 is back.
Say it. Let me clip it. Say it. Let me clip it. I'm gonna send it to his lawyer. Say it.
No. Now you want to threaten legal action on
Say
me?
it.
You got that butthurt over me fucking bodying you about your shit team? Gotta go fucking suit up? My daddy's a lawyer.
Wait, hold on.
Same fucking vibes.
Hold on, but do we think Wolves are going to go down?
Yes. Unless this new manager is fucking Harry Potter and waves a wand and turns everything around, I think they're sacked.
Yeah.
You know who's not sacked, though, and honestly could win the league is Chelsea. This team is cold as ice. And look, I'm giving them their flowers. I've been giving them their flowers.
Full Cucurella experience, man.
He's unbelievable to watch for all the wrong and right reasons.
Yes.
But this
dumb.
team is fucking quality. And I honestly, no bias, I'm not trying to glaze the ops. They are better than Arsenal. Like, they are way more fun to watch, way more entertaining. They got better impact players that you could turn to and say, hey, go get us a goal. Hey, go get us an assist. Go create a chance in open field play. Something Arsenal does not have. This Chelsea team, as of right now, and I'm not happy to say it, they are better than us. And I think they are Liverpool's only legit competitor to the league title as of right now. Things can change after Christmas. Yes. But as of right now, I think anyone saying that Arsenal is a better side than Chelsea is just a biased Arsenal fan.
You heard it from Nicky Smokes. London is blue. London is blue.
Hey, the Pride of London parlay. Didn't sleep on that, huh? No, I mean, you had, right, they did Enzo and Arteta both managed or assistant coach under Pep, right? Two completely different philosophies of football. One is heavily defensive, being strong in the back. The other one says, fuck the back. I'm just going to put it in the fucking net with the boys up front. So, like, two completely different philosophies, and I think we're seeing that having these defensive records or trying to, like, stone out or ice out the other team, it's not necessarily the right way to go.
Now, if there was a playoff in the Premier League, I think Arsenal would be suited for that.
Well, that's
like
why
defensive, I think you get 1 or 2 goals, like that's enough to win. Week in and week out in the Prem, that shit ain't working, bro. Well, there's too many draws, too many low-scoring games. You're not getting any swagger back playing so fucking defensive. But I don't want to sit here and talk about Arsenal. We already wasted 20 minutes on that.
But that's why I think your guys are going to have success in the Champions League, because they're going to have to beat you in these knockout stages, and that is tough. Yeah. One game, it is tough to beat you.
Can we talk about that guy, Romeo Lavia? Lavia. I mean, he's to me like he's the key to everything.
Because him and Caicedo are immense.
What's that?
Him and Caicedo are.
Yeah, but Caicedo's they've been playing him not in that CDM role. Like he's it's all Lavia, and he just sprays it up. He sends guys, and he is that kind of destroyer. But then he starts like every play for them. He is so important to them.
Yeah,
I feel like because Cole Palmer gets all the headlines, and he's been fantastic, obviously. But like that guy, like if he were to go down, I think Chelsea.
Well, he was. That's when they were bad last year. They didn't have him. They didn't have Caicedo for a long time. They didn't have a lot of their back. Like Levi Colwill was out. They didn't have a lot of guys, and now they're all healthy. And
I fucking forgot that Lavia was on Chelsea because they had so many guys come in, and then he was injured for a long time. But yeah, he's a great player. Chelsea look good. They're great. Having said all that, I still just on like the vibes and the look. I don't think they're touching Liverpool.
No, they're right. They're in sniffing distance. But
they're
the problem
in sniffing distance. I just think in terms of the full marathon of the Premier League season, I still think that Liverpool have that little extra.
It was truly a game.
I think Chelsea has better depth than Liverpool.
It was a game of bounces, though, because Brentford were very close to equalizing with the first one that went bar down, but just the wrong way out, and then they scored that other one, but they could have easily equalized. They just weren't abundant in chances early on. They came in late and peppered them on, but
I mean, you could say the same. Like Nicholas Jackson got one, but he had
he missed a few. He missed a few.
That was vintage Nicholas Jackson in the beginning.
The one he scored was beautifully slotted.
Yeah, it was. That one. But he missed an absolute sitter from the 6-yard box.
Let's look at Chelsea's recent form. They're 2 points off the lead. Win against Brentford, win against Tottenham, win against Southampton, win against Aston Villa, win against Leicester. These guys are red fucking hot. Liverpool's last 2 games, draw. All I'm saying is don't be surprised if Chelsea makes a leap and they're on top of the league for a little bit, because they're buzzing right now. I think they're the hottest team in the Premier League right now.
I would agree with that.
It will be Arsenal and then Liverpool at the end.
Okay,
we'll see.
That's your call. Arsenal's winning the league.
Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City.
No, that's where I'm going to.
That's crazy.
That's where I'm going to stop you.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
I don't even think I think City, and you guys laughed at me when I said this. I said they're not going to finish in the top 4. I don't even think they'll finish top 5. I think top 7 would be a good year for City this year.
I think they'll still finish top 4.
I don't think so.
We'll see. I have no way of knowing where the bottom is.
Neither does Pep.
And where January, what happens in January with guys coming back and maybe getting some new players.
So many people just have this like sane train of thought, where it's like, just wait. Like, we've been waiting for 11 weeks. They've got 1 win.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, this is just unprecedented.
And then the crazy part is they're only how many points off the top?
A lot. They have 27 points. They are 9 points.
They're 9 points off the top.
Honestly, I was looking at the math yesterday.
In the worst run of the 9 points is 3 games. Okay, the worst run of City's history.
I kind of agree with you,
whatever in a row.
I kind of agree with you. I was looking at the math yesterday. I was like, how we cannot win a game since Halloween. How are we still?
Because a lot of those games are outside of the Premier League.
I get that. But still, to me, I was like, the math doesn't add up here. How are we still in 4th?
Well, Maresh just explained it to you.
I still don't get it though.
Correction, you're in 5th.
Yes, yeah. Excuse me.
Well,
sorry.
and if Liverpool do get those 3 points, obviously nothing's given. You have to earn them. That's 12. That will be tough. But at the current state at 9, you've done it before. I think you've won a league from 10 points behind on them specifically, or Arsenal. I can't remember, but you've done the 10.
I think it's going to be a sprint for a battle for us for 4 or 5.
I just don't see the juice.
In those previous years, I don't remember Pep looking so broken. Like that's the thing that feels
He
different.
keeps cutting himself.
Right.
He's crazy.
He's scratching himself.
And like he's making it public to the media that he has no idea what's going on. Like he came out and said, "I do not have the answers. We want to play better, and it's not possible right now."
Well, I think the reason for that though is because we've played 90%. Like there's been like 3 or 4 games where we have not played outstanding, but at least managed the game for 90% of it. And then somehow, some way in the last 20 minutes, 10 minutes, the absolute worst possible thing can happen. And we lose in this wildly dramatic fashion. Like there's like no explanation for that other than like the yips and confidence.
Yeah.
Like what happened against Feyenoord was insane.
Nuts.
What happened?
What happened against United?
What happened against United was absolutely unbelievable.
Yep.
Levels of meltdown. So like from a manager point of view, I can see what he's saying where he's like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
Yeah, but on the flip side, like I didn't watch the Feyenoord game. You probably deserve to win that considering you were up 3-0.
In the 70th minute.
The United game, neither of us deserved to win that game.
Agreed.
Both teams played like shit for a long time.
Agreed, but you still didn't like have a remarkably short back pass and then following that up with an absolutely clear-cut penalty and then another one.
You could say it on the flip side, like your goal goes off a deflection, off of a cross that was not going anywhere near that player.
Yeah, but that's
So-
less of a crazy
so-
bounce to me than 2 goals in 100 seconds away from home.
115.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of the game.
I don't know. I actually have no answers. I'm just rolling over and just saying next year.
Well, Tottenham thrashed Southampton 5-0. I'd like to suck my own dick for a second. I said that was my favorite player of the week, but I couldn't give it out as an official play because Zah said that's haram. Their team total was over 2.5. It was,
Licky Smokes,
it was fucking. It was 5-0 in the first half or something ridiculous. It cashed in the
4-0,
first
I think
25
it's 4-0 in the
first
first
25 minutes. It cashed. I simply just snowball. It is what it is. Now, look, you guys say whatever you want. Oh, you're new to the game. You don't know the players. Yeah, well, I know betting lines, and there's simply no one better than me on this show or probably in the world. That's how good I am at this. Good result for those pricks over there. I mean, if they didn't thrash them the way that they did,
And you know
I
what?
think that'd be a them problem.
All those goals go in the back of the net, but one guy on this show said that there was someone that was going to find form this week. Someone was going to find form. He couldn't even put one in the back of the net. Brennan Johnson, no goal.
He didn't start.
Did he come on?
It was over by then. But had they started him, I'm sure he would have joined the party.
Brighton also.
Oh, but hold on. Jed Spence, back from the dead.
Yeah.
Got his first start in the Premier League, got an assist within like 30 seconds. So we got another one of our boys doing well for Spurs. But it wasn't Brennan's day, unfortunately.
Wasn't Russell Martin's day either, as he was sacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough look. Brighton got shit pumped at home by Crystal Palace. They lost 3-1.
That's crazy.
This is why the Premier League is the best league in the world.
That is a crazy result. I would hate to be the team that plays Palace next.
Well, you think they're about to get hot?
I would just hate to have to go to Selhurst Park this weekend. I don't know who plays them. I think I have a clue.
Is it Arsenal?
I would hate to be the team that plays them.
I have a feeling it's Arsenal.
It's
It
Arsenal.
is
It's Arsenal.
Yeah.
You guys play them 2 games in a row.
You know, I'm thinking about Wednesday Carabao Cup. That's the only thing. Oh wait, we play Palace on Wednesday.
Oh, so you play them 2 times. You play them Wednesday and then Saturday.
What?
Yep, you do. You play them
Damn,
on
that's
Wednesday.
gnarly.
Yeah, it's weird.
Are they both at Crystal Palace?
I know Saturday, I believe it.
Wednesdays at the Emirates.
Wednesday's Emirates, yeah. Saturday's at Crystal Palace. Yeah, Crystal Palace. I get.
If anyone has a ticket in the way-in,
Send it over
Please.
to Zaza. I'm sure you could get tickets. Just send out a tweet. You're him. Everyone knows who you are over there.
away tickets are different. Away tickets are impossible.
You got the betting recap, Maresh?
Yep.
Go ahead and read that off. I wonder who won their official bet.
All right, so we have from the top, Smokes was City United, both teams to score, no draw. That was a
Bang, bang.
W for Smokes. I don't have the
dubs.
records right now. I have to go back and tally them up as I missed a few weeks, so I will have those Thursday, but you will probably be still at the top.
Yep.
Chief, Chelsea money line plus the over 2.5. That hits in like the dying minutes. Doesn't matter how you get it. Matters that you got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
I had the Pride of London parlay, Spurs and Chelsea money line. That hits. And then we have the other two. We have Rudy, Wolves money line.
Wolves -110.
And then to round us out, he said just Arsenal. So Smokes amended it, made it Arsenal -1.
Would have lost either way.
It loses either way. So.
Yeah.
And then you have the Golden Boot.
Golden Boot, yes, I have that as well. Let's see. Chief, Brennan Johnson.
DNP doesn't count.
Smokes, Enzo.
What do you mean DNP?
He didn't play. He didn't start. DNS.
He came on.
Did not
He
start.
had a,
Wait,
he came on at half.
But technically, as I learned from DraftKings this week, because I tailed Smokes' parlay, but I made it to score or assist on all of them. So I hit with Weah, but because he didn't start, they voided that leg.
That's crazy.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh,
And
they voided.
I tried to earn my money. I said I want my reparations, but they wouldn't give it.
Well, at least we know now going forward.
Yeah.
We love you, DraftKings.
We do love DraftKings.
What else?
Just got to learn the rules from.
Yes, that's on us for not knowing the rules.
Then we've got Marash. I had Strand Larson's had to copy me because he just likes to be like me. We both lost on that. And Rudy, the only winner of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Mazel tov.
Yep, staying afloat.
I think that's back to back for him though.
I believe it is.
Yeah, I'm finding some for him.
He's heating up.
I'm finding something. Not everything, but I'm finding some stuff.
Yes. Look, hats off to you.
Cunha. Yeah. Well, I just assumed that Cunha scoring the Wolves would win, so I was kind of putting all my eggs in the Wolves basket, so it only partially hit. If only that fucking ping pong goal didn't go in for Ipswich, but whatever.
If there's anything,
It would have been a
go
tie.
ahead.
It would have been a tie either way. So
were you gonna say something?
I was going to say he's going to lose either way.
yeah.
I was just gonna say to all the listeners out there, if there's anything that you took away from this podcast, is how much we love the Premier League, to the point where it's making me not like the NFL as much as I used to. The no commercials, 45 minutes in, 15-minute halftime, 45 minutes out. They start on time. The games are electric. You can't tell who's gonna win. I've never been all in on something in my life. Even if Arsenal shits the fucking bed the rest of the year, like now I'm so bought into everyone else's stories that I just can't wait to see how everything unfolds.
Are you seeing that behind Chief? I don't know. Chief, I think I see the bandwagon behind you. I think there's some space on it for Smokes, right?
No. I don't switch sides. I'm not switching clubs. I'm just saying from like a league standpoint, like when I watch the NFL, like there's only so many stories you could like buy into and get excited for. I couldn't name more than one or two in the NFL right now. But the Prem, you got so many teams doing so many crazy things. There's so many crazy storylines and drama, and I don't know. I'm just hooked. Like how much the fans care, the players care. The middle of the table is fucking electric. You don't know who's gonna win. You got Wolves -110 losing outright to fucking Ipswich. I mean, it's just been magical, and I'm just glad you boys are here for the ride.
And I think that's the nature of the league, because they're like the Bears season is done. I'm going to the game tonight to watch the Bears get pumped by 40 up in Minnesota. They're doing a whiteout. It's going to absolutely suck, with the exception of Portillo sponsoring. That part's great. But the rest of it, I can't wait for the NFL season to be over.
Right.
I've had 2 seasons with Forest where they're in a relegation battle, and I white knuckled every fucking game, because like if you drop points away at Southampton, your season's over, and you can't replicate that anywhere else. They kick you out of the fucking league.
It's nuts.
So it does add like this. Well, we better sack the manager in December if you're Wolves or whoever, to try to salvage something, because it's gonna
right. There's no time to
17,
waste in the Prem.
It's you're out $150 million or more. So. Yeah. It is the best league. It's the best fucking
I just
league
realized I think I'm in the upside down, because Man City are imploding and the Broncos are a playoff team.
Yeah.
I'm Will Byers right now. I'm lost.
You've got the best storyline in both leagues.
Yeah.
The implosion and the Believers.
Yes. It's crazy.
What a time to be alive for Rudy. Well, shout out to everyone that tuned in. If you haven't already, please like the video, share the podcast with some friends, and we'll see you guys Thursday night for the Match 17 preview. Thanks for listening.
Where's the bottom? I don't know.